and this is Dr. Debra, and this is She Roars Backwards Boldly. And today we have an amazing guest, and I'm from Wisconsin, she's from Chicago, and only about an hour and a half from me. I wish we could have got together and actually take this side by side, would have been a lot of fun. So I want you to welcome Wanda to the stage. Wanda, could you just tell them a little bit about yourself? Have you always lived in Chicago, or?
I have, for the most part. I actually lived during my teen years, early teens. I lived sometime in Detroit when I was very young. I lived in Wisconsin. Don't remember a thing, but I was told that I lived in Wisconsin.
We just missed each other.
I visited Milwaukee several times because I did have family that lives there. But yeah, I lived here pretty much all my life. I actually went to my undergrad as well as my graduate studies was here in Chicago, St. Xavier, and for undergrad, and Lewis University as well as Roosevelt Universities for both of my graduate degrees.
Wow. I see behind you have a lot of certificates. So what's all that about?
So this is my second act, okay? This is starting my second act. I started my career in education. I retired actually last year, June of 2025 from education. I was a teacher, school counselor, and school administrator. So after 34 years, yay! I retired.
Happy retirement.
Yes. And so, like I say, this is the start of my what's next. And so I decided to become a coach. And when I did that, so I have a coaching certification in life coaching. Then I did that. 2023 is when I first started my practice. And then I decided, okay, in order to go along with that, I was supporting women in transition. So then I decided to get menopause coaching. So I got that certification because I was dealing with people and going through menopause, and I thought that would be something that would really, really support it. Then I left that and I decided to, I didn't leave it, but I thought I needed more tools in my toolkit. And
Right.
So then I decided to do mindful practices, which I actually was building on because I had a certification in social emotional learning, yoga, and mindfulness when I was an educator. And so I just kind of built on that with the mindfulness because I saw how important that practice was and it could be beneficial into coaching. Then I decided that, okay, I got that wrapped up, that I wanted to do decision makings because I was like, as we are going through these life transitions, being able to have the proper tools to help us make decisions and just not, just because it feels good today, but being able to know how to weigh out your pros and your cons to be able to make decisions that you feel comfortable with and that you can actually live with and actually can help you to grow. So I got that certification. Then, after working with some of my clients, I was supporting them. But what I did realize was there was a common thread that there were a lot of professional women who wanted to leave their profession because they had lost that aspiration. They was no longer inspired. They kind of lost their purpose. What I was hearing from them more so that it wasn't in all they're doing. It was more so the environment that they were in. More of like the leadership and things of that nature. And I did a reflection. I was like, yeah, that's why, because I retired at 55. So I got plenty more years to work. I could have stayed in education, but I was like, you know what? That kind of sounds like me that I kind of lost where I'm at too. The reason why I'm just taking advantage of retirement. And then what I decided to do was to actually go into leadership and executive coaching. The reason behind that was because I know a lot of leaders and they have very good intentions. They have very good intentions. Most of them, have very good intentions and they don't want to see their people lead. They really don't. But sometimes what happens is when the leaders are getting requests from the higher ups, it's that trickle down effect. And so now it's impeding their staff that works for them. And so, I know even with myself, when I was in leadership, I was very conscientious of the staff, what their needs were. But then all of a sudden we got some new demands and I kind of threw what I knew out the window in order to meet their requirements, and that did have a toll as far as the team. And so just knowing that from my own personal experience and in hearing these women that I work with, I decided that, maybe executive coaching, professional executive coaching would be a good way to go. So I went back to school for that, got my certifications for that. And I wanted to be able to not only help support individuals, but I also wanted to go into, like I say, the corporate world. And that's what prompted me to get my ACC credentials, my ICF ACC credentials, to be able to really support the leaders that needed the support and, build that, if you want to say, build that pathway for them to be able to just become whole. Because sometimes, again, the pressures of a leader, they don't always want to do some of the things they do. It's just the stress. The stress winds up causing them to react, be more reactive. And so that's what I kind of wanted to start working with leaders, to be able to give them that safe haven as well, so they can have that avenue to someone to talk to, bounce the ideas off of. Then when they're presenting to their staff, it's in more of a, if you want to say, compassionate way, so, and building on their emotional intelligence as well.
Wow, yeah, a lot of education. I love that. I can't seem to stop either. I'm still taking classes.
But one that I
good addiction, yeah, good.
Well, and I forgot about that, because that's the reason why I came with the DISC as well. I wind up getting a DISC certification because, the DISC actually supports with the behavior. It talks more about behavior and help you, so you know how you behave. And then, for instance, if I am a person who is very direct, but you're not, I can't approach you the same way and expect to get the same results, because I can turn you off. So using the DISC assessments as well. And then I wind up trying to incorporate speaking with that as well. Because if I can't, say, meet you in a coaching platform, then maybe you can see me on a stage, and then you have an aha moment from something that I said, to be able to reach you, to be able to, have that little adjustment that you need, that aha, to say, maybe, what, maybe I need to take a look at how I'm showing up, and what it is that my staff needs.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understand that when you're a true teacher, it's almost impossible not to teach and to give help to people and advice to people. And it's not like you're trying to be bossy or anything. It's just that you really see a need, you want to fulfill it. That's the heart of a teacher, how people grow and change and become the best they can be. And I see you're really working hard at that. I love that.
Yeah, and so that's kind of when I looked at it as well. Like now I have my program that I just designed a program. So I have licenses and accreditations for some courses that I put together to create a leadership packet. So it's like a leadership pathway. So I have one for inspiring emerging leaders, then middle management leaders, and then those who are senior leaders. And so I'm actually going to kick that off in August, the end of August, where I actually put it together as a packet where they get the courses, but then they also get some group coaching as well as one-on-one coaching, to kind of really give the emerging leaders, because, that happens as well. A lot of people have high credentials, know the technical stuff, but then they're thrown into the leadership part, and they don't have the support that they need for being with the human side of the profession.
Definitely. I don't think, you can go to, here's a business class, and they don't teach this stuff. They really don't, the human element.
Yes.
And the human element, particularly during these times with all the AI coming in and all the craziness that we're looking with, the human element becomes more important than that. You can learn math, or you can learn how to lead in a certain way, or to control something inside yourself, to have that presence.
If you want to say the beauty of being an educator, you always can see that silver lining, where some people will get discouraged and say, well, this is the end, they're not productive, they're not producing, but it's like, wait a minute, let me see what their true needs are. I can help them. I can help them get where they need to be.
That is, and it's so needed, particularly nowadays with like we were talking about, things changing so quickly, and it's a brave new world out there. I love it. You said you might have a little exercise or something you could do with me.
So, so one of the things that just a real quick brief, so I wrote Part of my journey when I left education, so it just wasn't a turnover real quick, but part of the journey was I was some self-discovery for myself as well.
Right.
So as I was doing the coaching, I was learning even more about myself. And one of the things that when I wrote a book, it's called The Awakened Leader. I kind of came up with like a framework of how to kind of get to the next level to kind of work through some of these challenges that you do. It's called the Awake Framework. And so
Yeah.
A is for developing awareness, awareness of where you are and who you are. And so if you want to think about right now, if I just asked the question for you simply, I want you to take in 3 collective breaths, just kind of collect your thoughts. We're going to ground you. I'm going to inhale through your nose and you're going to exhale through your mouth. I want you to repeat that 3 times. And on the last exhale, I want you to push out anything that may kind of distract you from being able to be present.
What am I supposed to say?
So you just push it out. You don't have to say anything.
Just push it out.
Just push it
Okay.
out.
Okay.
So now, just thinking about how are you feeling physically, mentally, now that you just kind of did that breath work. When you are looking at, okay, I'm not sure what it is that Wanda's going to ask me to do. However, how's your body feeling?
What I'm feeling is, well, my head felt empty and kind of coming down. It started to like relax, but relax more. It felt more like it was like spreading out of me.
And so that's the whole attempt of bringing that awareness to your body when you first started entering into a coaching session, because you want to be able to be relaxed. So you don't want to have your mind clouded with different things,
Right.
different obstacles that you've been going through. So whenever the challenge that you are presenting within the session, you'll be able to focus in on that and actually, make way. So now that you've done that exercise, I want you to think about if we could tackle something today in 5 minutes, what would it be? What would you like to just kind of have a little more clarity on?
Probably next steps in my life.
Okay. And so when you say next steps in your life, I appreciate you sharing that. But when you say next steps, that's so broad. Tell me, what does that look like when you say next steps?
The next step in my life.
Are you
I mean,
speaking in front
where
of,
do I go from here?
is it in personal life or is it professional life?
They're the same thing.
Let's do they're the same
Yeah,
thing for
it's
you.
all mushed in me.
Okay, it's all mushed in. Okay. So if
Yeah.
you're looking at it, it's all mushed together, then I want you to just kind of, where do you go from here? Where are you? What space are you at now?
Well, right now I'm in the space of developing my speaking and writing business and very delved into that. But sometimes it's not clear what the next step is. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, what do I do next? It's still about the same thing. It's just looking at it from maybe a different angle, be able to look at it and see possibilities.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. So now that we've cleared that, where do you want to go? What is the end result that you would like?
Where do I want to go? I
Yeah,
want to
what's
be a household name. Just being honest.
all right, a household name.
Like John Maxwell, Zig Ziglar. Somebody go, yeah, I heard of you.
Okay. And so,
I don't think small. I did for a long time, but I realized now, you can't think small.
okay, all right.
Yeah, you got wherever you're at, and it could be a smaller thing than what I'm saying, but we've got to like really look what's our possibilities. And you're never too old or too young to do that, I feel.
Absolutely. Right. So now that you're this household name, so right now you're building, you're on stages, but ultimately you want to be the household name. Everybody knows who you are. And am I correct? Different countries as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
other than going to cheers where everybody knows your name. Yeah, I had to say it.
Okay. All right. So how can we get there? What things have you tried thus far to help you to get on your path where you want to be?
I would think my focusing, I do have ADHD, so I tend to focus all over the place. And I think I need to get more aligned instead of going this avenue, that avenue, and find a road that is straightforward a little more than what I'm doing because I'm always throwing stuff. Does that make sense? And your ADHD is like, pretty. Ooh, pretty. Yeah.
And so when you say that, a path that's straightforward, what does that look like to you? Because remember, that can look differently for everyone. So what does that look like to you?
Well, it feels purposeful, but also calmer, if that makes any sense. And calmer than saying, okay, if you can get that road, then you say something else comes at you and you just say, well, that'll fit. Or you can say, no, that doesn't fit. That's, I guess, what they used to call pig trail. For ADHD people, it's pig trails are easy to follow. Yeah, if that makes, yeah.
So what systems have you had to, when you run into those challenges, what systems have you had to help you to be successful?
Well, I have a couple people that I can talk to that are straight with me and saying, no. Yeah, people that can be honest. And that's hard. None of us want to do that. We don't want to hear no. We really don't. But no can be a very positive word. It can be something that saves us. No, don't jump in that deep water. It's got alligators, that kind of thing, yeah.
So we're taking the position of where you are right now. If I was that person, what would you need for me to say to you to help you get in that path?
Just seriously be honest and give the reasons why. It doesn't mean I have to take the advice, but it does mean that you would give me thoughts that maybe I didn't see danger or things that wouldn't work. Does that make sense? If I could play something off you, like I want to do this next, and you would say, well, that's really not in line with what you're doing. So where are you going? That kind of thing.
So where are you going?
Where am I going? Where am I going? One step at a time, as far as I can go till I can't go no more. I want to be an influencer that brings love, self-love, because so many of us don't have self-love, particularly women. Bring self-love to people and encouragement that you are somebody, you can do something. You have this amazing gift that's born inside of you. You were given it. It's time for you to use it. Because when you're not using it, someone's not getting the help. I want to get that like a movement.
Is it okay if I make an observation?
Yeah.
So when you started talking about what it is that you wanted, how you described it, your whole body language shifted.
Yeah.
Your facial expression shifted. You had a whole different messaging that came with just your body. Would you like to tell me about that?
Well, the last place I spoke, somebody put the things I got from the conference, 3 lines, and one was mine. And she said it better, I think, than I could. She said, one thing I learned is God put something in me. If I don't use it, somebody's not getting the help they need. And that was one of my lines. And I said, it made me feel so good. It's like, she got it. She got what I was saying. I'm like, somebody heard it. And they're taking us serious.
So knowing what you know about the impact that you had on that individual and the path that you're trying to create for yourself.
Yeah.
What other systems do you need? I know you said that you need a person who can call you and reel you in when you are going astray.
Right.
It's the first thing that you need to do. What do you need to put into place to kind of get you on that right path?
Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. You got an idea?
Well, you said your ultimate desire was to be the household name. Everybody
Right.
knows who you are. So let's think about that. Who do you know? What individuals, maybe mentors that you've come in contact with that have actually accomplished what it is that you want? What paths have they taken that may be similar to something that you need to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, more people than I ever had before. You gotta, it was hard to get past just feeling inadequate to reach out to people and tell them, hey, I'm doing this, And then I worried about family, but my family's been so amazingly supportive. And I think we worry about so many things that don't even happen. And I think that stopped me for too many years, other people's opinions. And now it's okay if they don't like what I do. That was a long journey.
We have the power now. No one else's opinion matters. What's my next step? What am I going to do? I'm speaking on stages now. What do I need to do to get to start becoming the household name?
Create my own stage.
Tell me more about
that just popped out. Yeah. You're good. She's good.
Tell me about that. Creating your own stage.
A stage where I can give the same thing to other people, that opportunities to be able to, in the speaker world, because that's where I live, but a stage that's a positive stage that where we're speaking on positive things and we're we're helping each other go forward in life and learn the next stages. It's not, for me, it's never been about money. I like money, don't get me wrong. And I want money, yes. But it's more important that if the right people are giving the right message out and changing other people's lives and changing each other's lives. That's always been my bottom line. Yeah. I like money though. But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't want to do things for money. I want to do things for empowering each other, growing together, starting a movement, men and women across the country, of people standing up and saying, this is my gift, I'm sharing it with you, you share with me, and let's change the world. Kind of like that Coke commercial in the daylight, or Pepsi, that kind of thing.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me. So now that we know you want to create that stage for other people, how do we have to go about doing it? What can we do? What can you do now that you know that what you're to become that
Just
household name?
I guess keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay, so
Finding the right stages, believing in myself, learning to put what I do out there boldly, bring boldly.
I wanted to revisit building your own stage. Okay, I want to explore that a little more. Building your own stage. So you have the experience, you have spoken on several stages internationally as well as here within the States. And your takeaway from that, those experiences, I want you to think about those experiences that you've had and now create your own stage. What would that look like as far as you bringing that together for someone else?
Well, everything I've ever done has accumulated to this moment. I mean, sometimes you think you haven't done things, but then when you start getting to this point, you start thinking, well, wait a minute. I did those things. I ran those things. I created those things. I taught those things. Yeah. And it's all like coming together now here in this space. And what it looks like is a lot like the last conference I went to. There was so much love and sharing between people and uplifting each other. I walked away from that feeling really great, just uplifted. And usually sometimes you walk away from conferences feeling drained, and we do conferences. You feel drained and sucked out and just want to go to sleep for a week. But this one, it was really positive. But it was such a positive group of people came together in a room, and the energy and the caring, the love, the support was wonderful. And that's the kind of conferences I want to put on.
Oh, can you say that last part again?
That's the kind of conferences I want to put on, where everybody just doesn't matter if you're man, woman, black, white, purple, orange, and yellow, that we can come together in a space and create a space of caring and loving for each other and support.
And so I think I heard you say, I want to put on. Am I correct?
Yes.
So, and when I'm hearing I want to put on, I'm looking at it totally different from I'm being a part of.
You be a part of?
No.
Or me?
No.
Me part of roaring?
Yeah. So you said, because remember, your ultimate goal was you want to be the household name.
Right.
And I was asking you how you're going to get there. And so you shared some things, but then the last part that you shared was, I want to put on.
Yeah.
You're going to now
create the roar.
You're going to create the roar. So
my roar, and it spreads out and becomes everybody's roar.
So
in their
you're
own
creating
way.
the stage. You are creating the conferences.
Right.
Wow. So what is that going to look like?
It's great. But I'm going to have to cut you off because we're running out of time. Yes. Gave me a lot, to think about. But now you see what she does. And I didn't totally know what she does, but now I do. And you saw how she took me through different hard questions and motivating and changing. So tell them how they can reach you if they want to learn more about their dreams, their positioning, who they are, and what's inside of them. How can I get a hold of you?
Okay, so my company's name is What's Next Solutions. And so they actually came because I was thinking about what I was going to do after retirement. And so you can actually view my website. I actually have you can reach me by phone at 708-801-8373. That's my business line. I also have my book here. It's called The Awakened Leader. And so it talks about the journey of a leader who went through the different stages of being stagnant, who now have come to waking up to be able to see where they actually kind of fell short, and they're now actually rebuilding their life again. And so you can actually reach me there.
Yeah. And she will, of course, give me the written, I'll put in the call notes. So,
Yes, I sure
yeah,
will.
I can testify that she really makes you think.
Well,
Like,
thank you so much.
I testify.
Yeah.
Okay, I always end with asking one question from everybody. What does she roars boldly mean to you?
Making it happen. Making it happen.
Making it happen. That is great. Making it happen. And you can make it happen too if you work with her, okay?
Thank you, Dr. Debra.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing. And to all you out there that's listening across the world now. So remember, you have a gift. And so many of the people that come in, like her, like our esteemed person here today, have a way of helping you bring that gift out. So if she really resounded with you, please reach out to her and have a conversation at least, right? Talk about what you have for them and that. So reach out to her. And I just want to thank you again for showing up and here and there and all over the world. And so thank you. And remember to roar boldly because that's what you were built to do.